Precious souls, welcome to my happy space. I've got the giggles. I've been having the last few days have just been fantastic, and I can't even explain it. It's the energy, it's the shift. And, for the longest time, I was really struggling with some things. I'm like, okay, I can feel like I get channeled messages all the time. I know that everybody's soul family is reaching out and finding them now. And I remember thinking, well, where's mine? Where are all my soul family? Because, when you go through, after you leave toxic situations behind, because you literally, like, part of that is like you just become like so unbothered. And I know that's hard to imagine for people who haven't done it yet, or if there's still fresh wounds of just leaving or whatever, but you get to a point where you're so unbothered that you can see the clowns for who they are, and you just become so unbothered. But then you're unbothered kind of by yourself for a while, because you stop resonating with the people you used to hang out with. You slowly cut ties with the people that you realize are not healed. They're too lazy, couldn't be bothered. They just want to sit in their familiar zone in the matrix there and doo-dee-doo. And so the things that, as your gifts really get strong, because I can't even express, just even night and day from last year to this year, how intense my abilities have become, because it's about healing. It's this whole crazy experience is about healing, and you get thrown the craziest crap that you couldn't even describe it to people you're going through. It's like so crazy, and you live through it. But then you get through it, and you inevitably have to choose yourself. That's what the whole goal is. If you want to know the secret to the universe in a nutshell, is choose yourself, which we were taught never to do, right? That's selfish. And literally cut ties with everybody who feels like they're not helping you, they're hindering you, okay? You pick a side of the fence. You're either helping or you're hindering. You're helping my growth, or you are stalling me out and holding me back. And it's like once you get to that other side, and it's so easy after a while, and after dealing with all the clowns, as we call them, they're really easy to see from like 10 miles away. You can smell them. They're coming at you. Here they come. They want their energy supply, right? Oh, come on over. Hang out with me so I can tap you, drive your energy. Like that whole dialogue gets so very boring after a while. So inevitably you end up really enjoying time alone, which you never maybe did before, which led you maybe to be the codependent that clung to individuals that were unhealed, right? But when you finally choose yourself, and then you get used to being by yourself, and then you get so healed, it's like, but now what? Now what? So there's different phases all along the way in life, right? And I speak to so many different collectives, and they're so beautiful. People just on every part of their growing phases, and I know I still have. We never stop growing and learning. This is the great thing. I always say, like my thoughts, my ideas, my beliefs are always subject to change. Thank goodness they have always been, or else I would have been still, that wounded soldier fighting battles that I didn't need to prolong as long, but I was so determined to help the world, even though they didn't want to help themselves. But inevitably you get to this point. This is where I'm at right now. Yes, I just shuffling cards and these came out. What was I saying, guys? The clowns, the people with their masks, right? And you can't be fake anymore. You can't even, like, I used to be someone who could put myself in any atmosphere. I still could, but do I really want the nausea of it? Like I could be the hang out with the most pretentious crowds, or I could hang out with hang out with the people that have absolutely nothing and just make up conversations. And because I've been in every place in life, I've been at the highest, I've been at the lowest, and then you can't stomach it anymore. Like you can't wear the mask. You just can't. After you heal and you spend time alone and you really tap into who you are and why you're really here and why you're not here, you don't fit in anymore, and all you've got is pure guidance pouring through you. And even if you think, gosh, I'd love to just see what it's like to go hang out with my old friends and see if they've changed at all, or anything. You just, as soon as you step in the door, you can sense it a mile away. If anything, it's all this jealousy because your light is shining so bright. They can sense that you're so much healthier. You're doing things from a healthier standpoint, and then they loathe you, and they're still smiling while they got knives in your back. It's like a crazy world. So yes, human beings are not meant to be alone. But one of the trickiest things is finally coming out of this little, space where you're being a hermit because you're tired of people giving you psychic attacks and wishing hell on you because you're doing well and they don't want to do the growing. You become very isolated. But then you want to start finding people like you because you start to realize, wait, there's all these people in the world. I can't be the only one doing this healing, right? And a lot of these readers online are saying, oh yeah, you get to find your soul tribe. And I mean, I literally over the last few days was going, I wonder when this is going to happen. And I have had so many people reaching out to me that I totally resonate with. Like, I am so happy because I can really feel that it's like our energies are the same. And no matter where we are at the phases of this path, you can tell that you guys are my tribe and I am your tribe. You know what I mean? Like, you can really feel it. And you don't even care about, like for me, I do this for a living to survive. So I can avoid ever being intertwined again with a bad relationship or anything like that. So I do rely on this and my readings. But at the same time, I don't even want to charge my soul tribe. I'm like, let's just do this. It really becomes so much more than anything else. You just want to succeed and watch the people around you succeed and heal, because that's the one thing that can never be taken away from you, is that beautiful heart inside that loves so deeply and just honestly wants to see people succeed. But because of our paths, we weren't in a line with people around us that had that same love, that same desire, and the lack of competitiveness, because you just want to help each other succeed. But now it's happening everywhere. People are starting to find their tribes, their soul family, and it feels like coming home. It really feels like coming home. And just when things get difficult, and then you see them, they could be wearing a veil over their eyes. It's like you could feel their light. They're incredible. They're so empowering, and you're bringing each other up, and you could feel the exact reciprocated energy back and forth. Not like somebody sticking a straw and you tapping your jaw of energy. It's just like it's a beautiful exchange. And if anybody is struggling to know what it's like or why you went through the crazy, difficult, abusive past that you have, it's for this moment. It is for, can you feel the energy off me? It is such an amazing success, and it goes far beyond this material world. And it's something that the people who are the abusers will never get to experience, because they will never heal beyond their old ways. And if that isn't justice, if that isn't gratification or understanding the deeper wisdom of why you went through it, because now we can empathize with the others of our soul family who've been through it or are going through it or who are trying to escape it or who are trying to heal, and all those phases we know from experience, and we can help them. And then it's just growing. Our numbers are growing. And that's why, my dear, this year, everything is coming to light. No one's afraid to speak up anymore because it's safety in numbers. And instead of feeling isolated, instead of feeling like we are pure trash that we've been told and worthless and all of the things that they did to us, we are so much above and beyond anything that was in that existence in the past. And that was almost like a glimpse of some weird dream that you get to wake up out of, and you become so unbothered, and you never know while you're in it, how am I going to get through this? But on the other side, after you truly delve in and see, okay, I was, the people pleaser, I was codependent, and it's all, you follow it right down to your childhood, right? I mean, it's all about self-worth, self-value, survival instincts, running on survival mode for so long. And once you're away from it, you go, whoa, wait a minute. I can choose me, actually. If I don't want to do something, I can just say no. And even though I've got these, triggers or whatever from the past and how I got burned for doing those things, I can do that now. I'm safe because I created my own safe space for my inner child. I'm the parent now. And literally right now, all of the soul families are finding each other. It is, if you've ever had faith before in your life, I'll tell you, you're going to be shown this year, all the way through the year, how having faith and choosing you is the only way. There wasn't even a choice, but it was like, how long are you going to go through the pain, right? How long are you going to go through the pain? because everything is getting pulled together. You could see all around the world, the darkness, the things that the greed, the ego, the fear, everybody who fed into that or was that or ruled in that way or harmed others and were heartless and truly just all about themselves and ego. They're falling like flies. They're falling like flies. But they'll fall as soon as you let them go. You got to cut the energy tie. There's the secret. You got to be able to choose you and break that, move on your own path, knowing that, hey, this does not feel good and it's getting worse and worse. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't support me. It doesn't lift me up. I kind of feel like I'm not where I belong. And as soon as you finally break that trauma bond that they've got you wrapped in there, real good at that psychological control, the games, right? And as soon as you break free and go this way and cut ties and really no contact to the best of your ability, cut all ties, they fall because they are literally feeding off you like a little parasite. And I've known for a while now, but I really know it so much more every day. It's my narcability, and I am going to coin that term. It's my narcability to help others get through their narcissistic abuse because I've been through it, and I know the way out and through, and I know what waits on the other side, and I sure wish that someone had done this for me. But if I have to be the one to pave my own area path, because I know there's a lot of us out there, no one's there for you. You do it all by yourself. You cry alone. You're tortured alone. You feel lost alone. You feel helpless alone. But when you get on the other side and they start to crumble because all the truth's coming out, it's just uncanny. Just have faith. Just trust. I don't know the magic. I just know it's happening. There is no running from this. Oh, look at this. Okay, so we've got, don't be afraid to let go of the things that feel like safety because there's something more being offered, right? And there's something that whoever I'm speaking to, this collective, you integrate two things and you've got the magic ingredients to where you're meant to be next, okay? Two things. Now, these could be people, talents. This could be experience, right? Maybe, for instance, you could be a writer and take your experience and write a book about it. You could be a singer and write lyrics about it. You could be on a social platform like this, just talking away about whatever you're experiencing. Because I'll tell you something, anybody who would have looked at me a few years back, and one day I'm going to dig out some pictures. You're going to see some really, oh my God, that's like, looks like my soul's ripped inside out. A picture then and a picture now. And you can go, wait, so this is just a con job. They're keeping us in this self-imprisonment, believing we can't do anything without them. They got us. No, they don't. No, they don't. They want you to believe that. As soon as you take your power back and start pouring it into you, you're free. It's that easy, and I know your brain's not going to want to hear that. I'm sorry. Sorry to your ego. Dissolve the ego. You are a brilliant beaming light. You are here for something so powerful, and that's why only certain people were gifted the experience of hell of surviving narcissistic abuse. Yes, I said it. I said gifted, because honestly, that is what's going to be the catalyst for all of us to really turn within, and all of a sudden we align with our real spiritual gifts, okay? The true gifts. Living moment to moment is where you find it, okay? And I'll tell you, I had to fly by the seat of my pants. Didn't know what I was going to do, what was coming next, but it keeps getting provided. It is magic. It is the universe. It is God. It is whatever you resonate with, whatever created us, that infinite energy is in such support because we are truly the masters. We are, that is not from ego. We take our experience and people learn from us just by watching us. What are they doing now? I'll tell you, flying by the seat of my pants, and I still am. I don't know what tomorrow brings. I have no idea. But I've been through a lot of tomorrows, and there's been a lot of new days and a lot of todays, and every moment, everything works out. It's because it's free fall. It's trust, knowing that all of us on this planet have a special purpose, and we sure in heck aren't living it when we're under somebody's thumb who is nasty, controlling, tries to knock you down, makes you feel less than you are, makes you feel confused, gaslights you, changes reality, and they honestly, like, you could tell they believe it. Like, They lie perpetually. And no accountability. They make excuses for everything. And it's always everybody else's fault, all of those twisted darknesses. And if you're like me and you think, well, if I just try a little harder, love a little more, maybe they'll change. They'll see my value. No, 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 no. They already know your value. That's why they chose you. That's why they want you. They thirst for you. They know you are amazing. You're creative. You're a brilliant light. Your caring is unmatched. Your nurturing is unmatched. They know that your determination, that you won't give up. You won't stop. You'll just keep trying harder and harder. And they feed off the life force. Their sole purpose, their attachments, the things that are attached to them, their sole purpose is to suck the life out of you so that you don't carry out your purpose. And then when I started to realize that, a lot of years, when I started to realize that, I'm like, how much of my life am I going to let get sucked right out of me before I finally free myself? Because I know this doesn't feel right, even though I was in that trauma bond, that weird spell, like where your head's so confused with their cult crap that they do, and they gaslighting and everything. And I still had enough strength, and I swear it was my spirit team saying, you got to get out of here. No matter what, you've got to get out of here. You will never find happiness here. And there were so many factors, and definitely your spirit team intervenes big time. It'll be words that your family say or your friends, and they're like, I remember my dad asking me, am I ever going to see you happy, like in my lifetime? And that really hit. That definitely hit. That was like, oh my gosh. And we don't realize how much we're dragging all of our family, all of our friends in it. We think we're being all quiet and keeping it swept under the rug. No one knows we're getting hit. No one knows we're being verbally abused. No one knows we're getting totally gaslit and crying alone and being ignored and ghosted and all the freaking clown games they play. No one knows, but they do. And they feel it because you're not at the family gatherings. Years are passing by. You're not out doing what healthy people get to do in relationships. You don't get the free will because they own you. Because if you don't do what they want, they'll make your life absolutely miserable in hell. Yeah, don't think it doesn't. It affects even your pets are affected by the drama, the secret, quiet dramas that happen at home. Kids are affected. Families are affected. And it never goes away until you walk yourself out of it. And I had to learn that. And I walked out of it, and then I still got reeled back in. I'd walk out of it, and I'd still it happened over and over and over and over and over until finally I went, I don't want to get bullied out of another home of mine. I don't want to have to pack all my stuff by myself, move all my stuff by myself, attempt to heal after crying for weeks. I don't want to miss more work. I don't want to have to leave another job. I don't want any of this. And you get to that point where it's like, no matter what terrifies me on the other side, it cannot be worse than what I'm existing with right now, barely surviving. And not to mention the brain damage. Okay, seriously, anybody who's going through narcissistic abuse, it's the cortisol levels from constantly being in survival mode dump and actually like do not support your organs, and you get brain damage. Like that's why you lose your memory and everything. It took me a long time to get a lot of my health back. They play on that. The constant, oh, I love you. Actually, I really hate you. Oh, I love you. Oh, that stuff that they're doing, and you don't know whether you're coming or going, that causes brain damage. Big time. Not only does it totally cut you off from your spirit guides, it really does. It affects your organs. It affects your health. It definitely affects your memory. And I think that they could do scans now where they can actually see physically the damage done to your brain. Now, remember, the body and the brain always heals itself. But, it took me EMDR treatments. It took me counseling. And it took me having such a drive of pouring all of that unconditional love that I always gave to them and pouring it into me to try to save my own existence. And because I couldn't take it anymore. And I did it alone. Okay? My dog wasn't holding my hand going, hey, you know what? See, you're having a rough day and you're melting on the floor right now. No. But it takes the same strength that you poured into trying to save these people, only putting it into yourself. And then all of a sudden you start to realize, wait a minute, I didn't cry today. wait a minute, I didn't second guess myself today. Oh, isn't that interesting? It's like life forces you to do it alone so you can prove to yourself how incredible you really are, and that all the things that they said were not only untrue, but it really reflects how much they desperately were trying to keep you low so you wouldn't leave because they knew their truth and how low they were and what vibration and energy they were, living out of and reflecting out and projecting onto you. So, wow, like that was a tangent. That was like such a channeled message, right? Just like all of that was seriously just like pure channel stuff going through me as pure energy. But that's how I feel. And I'm starting to see now all of the right people, the people who've gone through similar things. And it's just, we're all supporting each other. And it's so freaking beautiful. It is so invigorating after all the time and all the years of suffering and feeling so alone in that world, trapped feeling, right? No, you're meant to overcome it. It's part of the plan, and it sounds really like pixie dust, but it's all part of the plan. So if you're second guessing or anything like that, trust that your instincts are right. And it's like I've said to a few people that have said, they're waiting to have children or they're waiting to do this till the timing's right, till the money's there. There's no time like now. Like literally, I put it off for years, finally escaping and choosing me. The time is always when you're feeling like this sucks. Because my cutoff game is so hardcore now. It is so hardcore. It's like if somebody shows up and they just raise their voice too much at me or anything like that. And it's not because I'm not totally loving. Like, I mean, I'm all love. Everything about me is I love. But it's about I love myself too. So if someone's going to mistreat me, they don't fit in my world. And that's what we all need to learn. This is part of this experience, is learning how to love and respect your healthy boundaries and know your worth. If they show up like that, it's supposed to be that easy, okay? We have this built-in radar that says, "Whoa, that didn't feel good." Well, if they're consistently doing that, they're showing you exactly what they're going to continue to give you because you're continuing to allow it, only it'll get worse and worse and worse because then they cross your next boundary, then they cross your... You got to have a cutoff game because if they're showing up like that, they're not yours. It's so easy. If they show up like that, they're just not yours. There is something better waiting. And it's finally feeling whole enough inside that you don't feel like you need anybody else to fill your cup. You could do it on your own and with all your beautiful spirit team. You've got ancestors, warrior spirits, some people ascending masters, like big time now. Oh my gosh. But it's about realizing you don't need anybody to complete you. But it's nice to have somebody to talk to and be a companion to and pour your love into that loves you and pours in back. It's about sharing a journey, not needing each other or else all craziness is going to break free. The hardest part is, like I said, the childhood wounds and the traumas. We feel compelled and drawn to people who are a lot like our unhealed parents or our unhealed teachers or our unhealed friends. All of these like defense mechanisms that we picked up. It's like we couldn't heal them back then, but boy, we're going to try to find one in a spouse now and heal them. No, it's about healing ourselves. It's not about saving the world. It's whatever is going on inside is reflected outside. So if your world isn't feeling real good, there's some healing to do. It's about not suppressing what you really feel. If you can't be seen or heard without someone just wanting to understand and find a solution, you're in the wrong spot. There's a breakthrough coming for those who are able to choose themselves and say, you know what? I'm not going to walk on eggshells around you anymore. You are deeply unhealed, and I am not going to spend another minute with you. I'm going over here. No big fight. Not going to smash anything. Nothing. It's just I need to get away from that. And they don't like that because as soon as your energy is leaving them, first, they get hungry. They want that. They want that energy. But second of all, once you detach from that little spell work they're doing on a daily basis, the cult crap they're feeding you, you start to get a little bit of a different perception. Takes a while. You need to stay away for a while. And then you start to see, wait a minute, how come these people are treating me totally different, like totally different? And then you have to do things for yourself. You're like, I thought I needed somebody to give me that. No, actually, this feels pretty damn free. That's what they're terrified of. That's why they get really ruthless. And then when they know you're about to leave, then all of a sudden it's sweet as pie. Oh, the love bombing. Everything's lovely. Let's go on a trip together. And then as soon as they got you, boom. Yeah, it's that constant. It's so. I just feel like I had to share this because I'm getting to the point where I'm so thrilled. Like, I can sit in my space and I don't have anybody trying to brainwash me, gaslight me. If I look out and I say it's sunny, I'm not going to have somebody telling me it's raining, trying to make me completely screwed up in the head. And it is my Narcability to bring this forward and say, I feel pretty good here. And even though I left a lot behind, like I've told you maybe in other channels, a gorgeous house I built on the lake, like all kinds of money wrapped up in there. But you know what? What is all of that if you lose your spark? If you lose your spirit? They want to break your spirit. What good is all of the money, all of the things that you've accumulated, or I've invested so much time in them, and so what? What good is any of that if your spirit's been broken and you're in survival mode every day, walking on eggshells, trying to get through the day? Like, you're literally barely even, you're not even living, you're just existing and surviving to keep them from getting unruly, because they're giant children. These clowns are giant children that throw these hissy fits, and they are very vindictive. And hey, we're not in the sandbox anymore. This isn't kindergarten. The bigger and older they get, the harder they hit, and the more they can really put you in a bad position, because remember, they're ruthless. They don't care. They're incapable of love. They don't even love themselves or respect themselves. How could they love you? There's a lot to this, guys. The deeper you go down that rabbit hole, the more you go, wow, this is crazy that I've stayed this long, but I forgive myself. I love myself. I see I'm just supposed to learn to love myself and be stronger and escape it. It's literally escape it and figure out the rest later, because everything just happens. You get people that want to help you that they knew and you didn't even know that they knew you were going through this, and they just come out of the woodwork. Everything falls into place. I did it. I left it all. Behind, and I've never felt more alive in my life. Yeah. What they do is they spend all of that time with you, projecting all of their pain and insecurity and their lies and their cheating and their deceit and their ego and their greed. They put it all on you. Like, they tell on themselves, narcissists tell on themselves all the time. They will literally look you in the eye and call you a cheater when they're cheating. Oh, I definitely learned that. And I found all the evidence to back up what I felt deep inside, what my spirit guides were trying to tell me. You're cheating. Well, okay, now I know where you were last night, right? And now I know why you ignored me for 4 days, or, right? It's twisted. Or they call you, I used to get called, oh God, horrible names. Trash was a mild one. So I know that they believed themselves to be just trash, worthless. So it felt real good when they looked me in the eye and said, you're just trash. Right? Yeah, there were a lot of really ugly names. Underachiever. Meanwhile, I was doing more than them. You know what I mean? Like, I made them a lot of money because my kind heart just signed it all away. That's another thing. Don't get conned into that. I signed more contracts to get to not have any rights at all. I signed them away because I was manipulated enough. Oh yeah, everybody believes you're after me for my money. Oh, don't worry, I'll prove I'm not. I got conned so bad. I'll prove I'm not. I'll sign any prenup. We're just dating, but I'll sign a prenup here. Oh, not only do I not get half, but I don't get this either. Oh, okay, it's all right. Oh, only what I keep receipts? I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me that the last 5 years I should have been keeping receipts. Like, they play on the fact that you're so honest and so pure, and you just want to prove it because no one ever believed you were that when you were younger, right? How can anybody be so nice and loving? But at the end of the day, where I'm sitting right now feels so good because I don't have to watch my back. You know what? My dog, my dog's not going to attack me. My dog's not going to have some evil diabolical plan to get me. There's not going to be hidden cameras everywhere. I'm not going to be attacked anymore because I chose me. There's no more nonsense. I choose my friends, and my cutoff game is good. I will love and respect anybody, but if you mistreat me and you show me who you are and it is undesirable, I'm not going to ignore the red flags anymore, right? You don't ignore the red flags. Don't ever think for a second you can't do better, because the right one would never make you feel confused, uncomfortable, undesirable, or like an option. That's the easy. It's so easy. If that's what you're experiencing, bye-bye. It's that easy. Because what you're waiting for, and my dad once said this to me, how long, while you're enduring this life, while you're surviving through this life and putting up with all this crap, you are making your true person wait. What if there's somebody who's meant just for you? And I do believe this, right? Someone meant for you, and you're leaving them waiting because you're so busy trying to survive and stay in this and prove you can make this work. I was like, that made sense to me. That made a lot of sense to me. And that kind of broke my heart. It did. It broke my heart. And now I'm seeing all of these beautiful people that are like me. And I was never alone. I didn't have to hide my light to be with people that were mean and cruel. All I had to do was truly be myself so my family, my soul tribe could find me. And it's such a beautiful feeling. And it's just exciting, and I'm so glad that I took the leap of faith, and I just went with this because I felt called to do this online, and they're all finding me now, and I'm finding them, and this is exciting. Like, we're sharing, we're supporting each other, and it's so beautiful. Oh, I just felt like I had to say that. I don't know how long I've been rambling. If you get called to have a personal reading, guys, you can email me at paintingsbycatherine@gmail.com. I've got a website, www.earthangel3811.com. You can follow my Facebook page, Readings by Catherine. And thanks for subscribing for free to my YouTube channel, Earth Angel 3811. I just feel so grateful for all of you. All of you are so, so wonderful, and you're stronger than you'll ever realize. And I know there are people who have healed beyond me. They're at some other phase, and I'm excited to get there. I'm excited every day. Every day is beautiful. It really is. And I've been in the depths, and it has proven to be so incredible. And we went through it for a reason. It wasn't for nothing. It wasn't for nothing. So if you're sitting on the fence, not sure whether to leave, if you've just left and you're feeling all the heaviness, no matter where you are, just know it gets better and better. And you are selected. You came here to do this for a reason, and it's to share your story and help others. Really, we're all ascending together, and it's so exciting. Sending so much love and light to all of you, and I know you've got this. You've got this. Keep believing in yourself. You're amazing.